Good eve, Dangerlings. It is I, Brimbone, and I am here to tell you about the Danger Club Podcast's Patreon, which is as inevitable as the dawn receding away from the night again. Yea, doth night take the mantle from dawn, and e'en now the waxing and waning of the... What is it, Bartleby? Yes, you can have a raisin. Go get me my candles first. What do you mean, which ones? The dark ones?
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
Folton and Bubba's cozy cabin. We're going to turn it into sort of like a little party. Everyone's invited.
I am a traveller in the desert. I wanted to come to this party.
I really want to put him in the bag, Shania.
You are following Borash.
Get in the bag! Get the bloody bag! Get in the bag!
Why have you got the guys in the bag?
I feel like there's something coming.
There are dust storms out here. Probably best to seek cover.
The camp's not there anymore.
The adventure continues now.
Dan has left the building.
And if
hopefully he will be back.
If he's the host, then this is going to start spooling.
No, it's all right. I'm the host.
It's all right.
Oh, okay.
Colin's the host with the most.
So hopefully he's still recording on his Audacity and he will just join us.
What's the date today? Is it April Fool's? Because when Dan starts back, is someone else's computer going to like blow up, and then we'll just be trapped in an endless cycle of one person coming back and then one person like having to leave?
It's funny you say that, Scott, because, you know, we were talking about time travel earlier, weren't we? We were saying that maybe when someone logs back in, they've time travelled into, I don't know how I'm explaining this, to be honest. But
is that are we doing a preamble?
I think we've just entered preamble and Dan's going to join us.
I didn't have my preamble head on. You can't sneak a preamble on me like
well,
this.
You've stealthed enough people in your time.
Sneak attack preamble.
You've stealthed enough people in your time with your rapiers.
I can't help that I am naturally nimble and light-footed, Drummond.
You've stealthed me so much. You've got video footage of you stealthing me out and about, like on the reg, man. Like it's.
You're so obvious and oblivious. You're just like looking at a phone like it's a brick in a wall, like you're trying to solve a mystery. And I'm like, I've got full field of vision. Like I've got like 180 degrees where I can just mess with him here.
Does he really jump? Does he like really jump when you sneak up to him? Yeah, because that's when you know you've got someone when they're like.
I do, quite often actually, yeah. And then there's video footage of it if you want to see it, because he's always got his fucking phone out going like, I'm going to get him. I managed to get you once, in fact, actually. The last job that we did, in fact, round about Halloween, and you were getting something from Burger King, and I fucking got you. Yes!
Burger King, the Halloween job?
Yeah. We were in the station, waiting to go to that crazy place that we went to. It was a little bit...
Right, so before we went, okay, I'm just getting my head.
We went there,
getting my head before we went. I was going to say, because after we came back, I was like, there's no way I'm going to remember anything.
No, the coming back was... I've shut it down. It's not a part of my mind anymore. It's gone. It never happened.
The Danger Club podcast isn't sponsored by Burger King, but, you know, have it your way.
Talking of sponsorship...
Is this actually a preamble?
Yeah,
tweet us, Burger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So talking of sponsorship, Colin.
Yes, mate.
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin.
What are you saying?
Colin, ask me what I had for breakfast.
What'd you have for breakfast?
It's dynamite on toast. Do you know what dynamite?
Dynamite on toast.
Yeah, dynamite on toast. Look, here it is. I'm showing them now. This is dynamite. It is.
Wow.
Marmite with chili. It's chili Marmite. Chili Marmite. Yeah, man.
Chili Marmite.
Chili Marmite. Chili Marmite.
Chili Marmite. Chili Marmite. Chili Marmite. Chili Marmite makes you poo. We love chili Marmite. Chili Marmite.
Chili Marmite.
I tell you what, like honestly, so I two pieces of toast, one with normal Marmite and one with chili Marmite on it, right? And I bit into the chili Marmite one, and I got to tell you, man, it tastes exactly the same. Pretty much so.
Does it?
No, well, I didn't really notice the difference.
Oh, no.
My toast was burned, to be fair. I mean, I think my taste register was being, you know, sort of out of sync because of the burn.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. In the past year, for your taste buds to be out of sync, buddy. You all right? You
What?
You okay?
What?
A little test there.
Which-
You
oh,
can't taste
I
things?
see. No, it was the burnt toast that fucked my taste up, man.
Sure.
The burnt toast.
Apparently they have started using dynamite now at testing centres. So you go in there and they give you some chili Marmite, and if you can't taste it, then
they blow
Do you want to go again, Scott?
Did you know that?
No. Oh,
Did you know that? Yeah, it happened in the. You can't recreate it. It's like live theatre. Oh god.
Sure, yeah.
Look at
Dan,
that
just so you know,
explosion on
we
the
have prambled, and you can just join in whenever you want.
Yeah.
Are we up? So my internet blew, like, literally as we were doing the countdown to record. My router blew, and I've just booted back up. So are we in the episode?
Wow.
If you're still recording, if
Yeah.
you're still clapped up,
Yeah.
let's still just go.
I'm still recording. I'm still clapped up. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Danger Club podcast.
Hey!
I have no idea.
Now, clapped up, for those out there, that's when we do the 3 claps that you may have heard in a previous episode. Anyway, we don't want to, we just want to make sure you know what we're talking about, Dangerlings.
I'm clapped up. They won't clap me out. They won't clap me out. Clapped
I'll tell you what,
up.
Colin loves the clap.
It's a cheap joke,
Yes.
James. Yeah. It's a cheap gag.
You do love the clap.
You had to lower the tone.
This intro has been the Rick and Morty intergalactic TV, interdimensional TV,
Planetary,
when that
intergalactic,
when that
interlactic.
guy is selling fake doors, and then he goes home, and then they don't realize this is the version of that. Like, we've been all over the place with this intro. But I will say, Drum. You have already been doing TNT for breakfast. In fact, most people do, because TNT also stands for tea and toast.
Ooh, very nice.
Mind blown, yeah.
And I did have.
I don't
TNT.
think
It's a definite thing.
I don't think they built the Great Western Railways in America blowing mountains up with.
but they had to have tea and toast in order to get there.
Boston didn't when they refused our bloody tea, did they? Yes, bloody Boston. In your river, dumping in your river ceremonially, which they celebrate every year. They celebrate dumping our tea into the river every year in Boston. How dare they?
Dear, oh dear. Was it a Boston Tea Party?
More than a feeling, it's a great track.
Good old Boston. I like Boston. If anyone's listening, Boston, nice one.
Also, big up to the song "Shipping Up to Boston" by Dropkick Murphys. That's a banger. That is.
Yeah.
It was on the Departed soundtrack. Shipping up to Boston. Whoa.
They're good. The old drop kicks, aren't they?
They are actually. Yeah, like them.
Great song.
Well done,
I don't know
everyone.
anything about the Boston Tea Party.
Well, you've just
I
learned.
can tell you what I think. Well, I'll tell you what I think it would be. So, some guys in the 16th century came over from England, and they came over on a ship, and they said, "Hey guys, we're England. Do you want to have some tea?" And they went, "Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!" And then they went, "Oh dear, that's terribly uncouth." And so they went back on their ship, but they left because they were chased out by the Bostonians, and they left the tea on the dock. And then the Bostonians went and did like a 300 thing and like kicked the boxes into the river, and they went, "This is Boston," and hit in the water, and then that's what they did.
Hands up if we want to cut
week.
this. 'Cause
No, actually, he's not that far off. Weirdly,
He's so far wrong. He's so
not that
far wrong,
off.
Scott.
Considering he just made up on
I'm
the spot,
sorry.
In fairness,
the blow by blow.
No, it was only
he got
the accent.
century right. You got the century right for English people arriving in America, and you did get the broad overview of English history of being English turning up in countries and saying, "Do you want tea or we want tea?" and then everything going wrong.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's basically a pretty good summation.
There you go.
Also, that was definitely a New York accent. The Boston one's just flat A's for everything. Boston.
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah, the Boston one is much harder to do.
If you want to learn more history.
Like, if I was doing a Boston accent, I'd probably go to New York first. Fuck it, but.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But also, I only know it by the Boston Batman. Hey, the Joker. Hey,
Joker.
Oh my God, it's the Riddler. I love Boston Batman.
It's so hard to know whether to cut it, isn't it? Because the Boston accents are English people doing Boston accents is funny, but also we did kind of imply that Boston is a First Nation, which is kind of not on.
Boston, we love you.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
There we do.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah, if there's anything you can take from this conversation, is we're bad at that accent, and we're not taking the mickey out of you, and we love you. Big up.
I've never been. How can you love it if you haven't been? Come on.
No, never been to Boston.
I've been twice, mate.
I would also like to go to Boston. It's the oldest place in America and has some pretty buildings.
Yeah.
One of them, yeah.
Just one.
Yes.
Just one building.
No, I think he means one of the oldest places in America, not it has one pretty building. I mean, I don't speak for you, James.
Yeah, well,
Boston pretty building.
Isn't that another Dropkick Murphy song? There's one pretty building in Boston. There's one pretty building in Boston!
Yeah.
Yeah, there
you go. We got it. We nailed it. We nailed it, guys.
Chili JamJam, chili jam jam.
Chili JamJam. It wasn't Chili JamJam.
It's chili jam.
Chili JamJam.
Chili Marmite.
Colin makes chili jam. This is chili Marmite. Imagine.
And if you want to purchase any chili jam, I am available.
Well, let's.
I got my callback wrong.
Well, let's jump straight over from a chili JamJam to a very, very warm JamJam and join the Danger Club in the desert.
Nicely.
There we go.
Nice.
How's about that for a link? Thank you for that link. That I've no idea what it was a link to. I missed that bit of the preamble, but we're in the game now. We're into it. We're playing a game. You guys are lost in the wastelands.
That sounds like another Dropkick Murphys.
Everything can be a Dropkick Murphy song with enough fiddles.
Yeah. Tweet us.
So what's the plan, Danger Club? So let's pan up. Let's jump in. We're gonna pan up later on that day. It is hot in the wastelands of Nex. There is no shade anywhere other than the shade which will invariably have been thrown by Shania on all of you at different points during the day. And the shade she's carrying herself with her parasol. Her and JamJam are okay. But you've been walking through the wastelands for a whole day. Some of you have got supplies. Folton, we know, has no water left. He drank all of his water on the first day, or the first morning.
No regrets.
And you've just been trekking through this this endless wasteland. Talk to me about it. How's the club feeling? How are you finding your way through this desert?
Hot.
It's a shame that one of the things played at Bubba's little tiny club wasn't Darude, because we just got lost in a sandstorm. No, really, we're gonna die.
Scott wanted to put that in so badly.
So badly, because we're not actually lost in a sandstorm.
It was a sandstorm that caused this thing. Put Downey James.
Yeah,
here's a question for the historical actors in this group. What's it like wearing armor when it's really, really hot? I could not.
Extremely
because I'm in half plate, I think.
And I think as well, you canonically stated that you don't wear anything underneath your half plate, so the levels of chafe already for Folton are horrific. And then you add sand, coarse sand to that.
Yeah. And just if anyone's curious, you can't actually wear plate armor without something underneath. It would be literally like putting cheese graters on yourself.
Drum can attest to this from Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
that was
not wearing underwear thing.
Yeah, that's true. This is why I recommend a healthy dosage of talc for everyone involved.
Talc wouldn't have helped you with full plate. You weren't even wearing full plate. You were just wearing robes. So you were chafing underneath cloth, right? Yeah. And Fulton's wearing metal lobster crotch gauntlets.
I'd still say talc,
James.
Another fun thing about it is that armour, being metal, really, really heats up. And I can tell you, I've stood in the full sunshine wearing mail armour, which is not what you're wearing, but similar sort of thing. And touching the top of my head was actually painful. It was that hot. So you're probably, if you weren't wearing anything underneath, Folton is literally cooked. You're literally cooked yourself.
At least we've got something to eat now.
Bubba would just like to, as he's walking beside Folton, just say, I hate sand. It's coarse, it's rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Hey.
Thanks.
Hey.
I might write a song about it.
Can it go?
Yeah, probably.
That'd
Or
be a
it could just
terrible
go,
song. Well,
I hate sand. Something like that, like, and just keep going.
Yeah, I respect your ability to workshop whilst in trekking through a desert with a dehydrated dwarf.
Yeah.
What time is it, Dan?
So it's mid-afternoon now. You've been walking all day through it to the sort of the smell of gently cooking dwarf.
I'm quite curious. Who out of the party is actually wearing a hat?
I mean, Shania has a hood.
I have a hat, but my head is exposed. I've got one of those like boat hats, but my it's got a brim.
But you cut the middle out, which is the important bit. So,
yeah,
cool, good. Anyone else wearing a hat?
I've got a hood up, and obviously a parasol. So
I've got a little hood on my cloak, so Bubba's got something over his head at least.
I've got hoods and cloaky bits and things like that, and my accoutrements.
Because it's important to keep the sun off your head, isn't it?
It is important to keep the sun off your head. Yeah, I was going to say, otherwise you would literally be sunstroke.
Well, only if there's a mechanic for it in Pathfinder, James. You aren't the DM.
I do enjoy stroking the sun. I mean, who doesn't, right?
Stroking the sun.
Speaking of which, I would
sounds
like all
way,
of you to look
way
up
cooler.
Your stroke value.
My stroke value?
I'm kidding. There's no chance.
I can tell you it's pretty low.
It is pretty like you are starting to feel the effect of it. Certainly, Folton. What is the plan other than walking through the desert?
Well, we're following Caragor's compass, I believe, aren't we?
Yeah, we know which direction we're going. Like
we're heading west.
Where Kibwe is.
Okay, so you're just going to point west and just going to keep walking.
I mean,
yes. Why do you say that? You sound like that's...
Haven't really been given an alternative option because we tried tracking and stuff.
I want to know what you... I'm not saying that what your plan is wrong. I just want to know what your plan is.
He's trying to fake us out. He's trying to fake us out. He's trying to fucking fake us out. Don't fucking...
Yeah, he's trying to fake a list.
Kick him out of the Zoom. Kick him out of the Zoom.
If he keeps...
We don't need him. We'll get through this desert much easier if we just get him out the group. And then we'll just be like, and we walk for a couple of hours and then we got the end.
We won the game.
No, but it's valid because there is a compass point is not an entire country, so at some point we're gonna have to narrow it down. But
well, I think certainly Velda's hoping that we'll see signs of the caravan at any moment, and with each sand dune that we crest, probably more and more disappointed that we're not seeing anything at all about that caravan.
Oh my god, it's going to be exactly...
Are we seeing anything about the caravan?
Exactly like when we climbed Seven Sisters and it was never ending.
Yes. Seven / many sisters.
I'm sorry, have we slept for a night since this happened?
No, not yet. We're sort of afternoon.
All right, well then, in that case, Shania, I'm going to suggest something. This is all very good and well to keep walking. It's very hot and distracting and hard, and I have not found anyone. I don't know if anyone else has, but I think maybe it's possible that I should, if we camp down and have a rest for the night, or even just for a little bit, then maybe I can prepare some different spells. I can, turn into a aspect of the bird things, and aspect of falcon and get a better view, this kind of thing.
We woke up from having a full night's rest, so unless you cast a load of spells and the last game, you should be full on everything, right? We woke up
but he needs... Shania needs to prepare different
spells. I did not prepare... I didn't prepare this, when I... In my sort of story in my head, the spells that I prepared for the morning were not ones where I could produce water and be and do the aspect of the, you know what I mean? They were different ones. So I'd need to sleep for a night, I'd need some time and then prepare a new batch of spells.
I think you can shapeshift without preparing because that's a focus spell. But,
really?
But yeah, you're creating food and stuff. I think you
the creating food
change
stuff,
up. Yeah. But yeah, your shapeshift you're good to go on.
Well, in that case,
I think
I'd recommend.
I feel like you want to say something. What do you want to say?
Just got a bit of sand in the back, back of my throat.
As I said, it gets everywhere.
Yeah, I've only got a little bit of my hood to cover my head, and the top of it's getting really hot and shiny. I'd recommend maybe not sleeping during the day, only because then we'll have to travel at night. It'll be freezing at night. But if you can carry on for another couple of hours, get to sunset and then do it.
Yeah, okay. Or maybe, I mean, if I really do a big focus, I might be able to turn myself into like some kind of bird and go and have a look around.
What will you? Are you aiming to see? Are you aiming to like just like pinpoint Kibwe with your eyes? Is that it?
Just maybe, or the caravan, or just something. You know. I will have obviously a much better vantage point if I fly very high up into the sky. I can see for much further than we can.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, just be careful when you fly out there, though, Shania, because there's like desert hawks and things. Have you ever heard of a desert owl? They're massive. Got big claws.
Have they?
Right.
I will also need to be some kind of bird of prey, then maybe so that I can fight back.
An eagle.
Okay.
Well, I'll watch it. I'll watch it from the ground.
You can maybe keep an eye out. So you have the arrows and things. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so yes, maybe this is something that I should try to do now because something feels a little fruitless about this. Okay, all right. So I will have a go. Right, Dan.
All right.
Focus spells. Where the fuck are they? Here we go.
So it's all right. Just tell me. You can change into an animal for this. So
okay.
Yeah.
Animal form.
So tell us, what animal do you want to turn into?
Let's see. I mean, what I'd like to turn into is like a bird with like awesome eyesight that can see real far. So is that like some kind of bird of prey?
It's like a bird of prey.
Bird of prey.
A falcon.
Falcon maybe, or
bird of flying high.
Maybe, yeah.
Falcon with one enormous eye.
That's what I'm going for.
Nice. Okay, you stretch your arms out, you shimmer with power, and you transform into a falcon and fly up into the sky. You see Shania soar off above you. JamJam just kind of drifts down to the ground holding the parasol. As Shania swoops off, you take off, you see the wasteland stretch out below you. Your friends shrink down until they look like ants, then you realise those are actually ants, and then you look over your actual friends, and then they shrink down until they're actually ants as you take off even higher until you can see the deserts of Nex laid out before you, stretching off in all directions. The dust storm is still receding into the distance to the west, so you can kind of see the dust storm to the west. It is gradually starting to sort of drift away that way. And as you're sort of looking around, you can just see wasteland. You can just see sand and rock stretching out in all directions as far as you can see. Give me a perception check.
All right.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say, like, could I sort of fly closer towards the storm? But actually, I'll just let me do this and whoop. Natural 20. 35 altogether. 35.
Very
nice.
Very nice. You become aware that there is another bird in the air coming out of the sun, so that it was quite hard to see. You can see a bird is descending towards you, flapping its wings. It is about the same length as you, but it is bulkier, and it has big eyes that are fixed on you as it comes flying down.
Sounds like one of those bloody owls. Okay, so I fly towards the storm to get a closer look to see if anyone's like.
Okay,
can we see any of this on the ground?
You give me a perception check, see if you can see it. It's a long way up, so it's a bit harder to see.
That's fair. I said I was keeping an eye on Shania. I was trying to keep an eye out for her.
No, that's fair.
And oh my god, the bond is true. Parasoulmates. That's a natural 20.
Yes.
Wow.
I rolled a 20. I rolled a 29 on that as well. I rolled a 29.
Well, we've got to take my moment, Colin. We've got to take a little moment, eh? Hey.
Okay.
Just saying. I rolled a perception as well.
You could probably solve it with magic missiles. Fine, well.
Caragor spots something a fraction of a second before Bubba.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Needed that.
Like you'd need goal line technology to see it, but it is slightly before. You see Shania fly up, and this other shape start flying towards her of similar size, and then she just beats her wings and takes off ahead of you and starts flying off towards the west. The other bird sort of veers as if to keep up, and then turns and just starts flying down towards all of you. And as it gets closer, you can see that it is an owl of about the same, a sort of sandy-coloured owl of about the same size as a falcon. And it is flying down towards... Bubba, you reckon it's flying down towards all of you? Caragor, you reckon it's flying down specifically towards Velda?
Why are you giving me that option? Why have I been given that option? Well, I've got my bow and arrow trained on it. Just like seeing it flying ish. Now I'm like, piss off, owl. Piss off, you bloody owl. Go away from my girlfriend. What you do? Oh, it's going down towards...
It's coming down towards all of us.
Specifically towards one particular point. I give it a couple of seconds and I go, Velda, look out. Owl's going to take your hat. It's going to take your hat. Desert owl, famous for atnicking they are. Get off my mate's hat.
I turn and look at the
There's
owl.
an owl swooping down towards you, claws outstretched.
I cast Gust of Wind at it.
The owl fails its save. The owl, as it swoops towards you, is hit by a blast of wind and just kind of veers off and goes in.
No, it doesn't. So if it fails, then it suffers a critical failure because it is flying, which means the creature is pushed 30 feet in the wind's direction, knocked prone, and takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Go ahead and roll 2d6 damage against the owl. The owl starts to spiral.
Fuck you, owl. Fuck you.
Owls are pricks, mate.
Owls. Oh god, that's 9 points of damage.
The owl just hits the ground. There's just like a sort of a flurry of dust where it goes into the sand and then it doesn't come back out again.
I send Jin to go and get me the dead owl. Go on, Jin. Go and get it for me.
Yeah, that's right, owl. Owls are dicks, mate. Fucking fuck off.
Are they?
I mean, what was he trying to do? Why was he diving at me? Either it was after Jin or it was after my hat. And either way, it can bugger off.
Like, piss off, owls.
I mean, are they?
Am I your... Sorry,
no. Before you couldn't see because my one eye's dead good, slightly better than Bubba's. But it was just about to go after Shania, and then it came down for. I imagine your hat or something like. Anyway, it was an owl. It was an owl.
So. Is Shania? Are you and Shania married?
No, what makes you say that? I trained my bow on Folton. No, what makes you say that? What are you saying that for? What?
You said Mrs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I thought she was pregnant. Shut up. Why are you saying that?
I'm not. Wait, hold on. I'm just asking. That's all.
All right. Yeah. Well, do you know what I mean? Maybe talc up before you lobster up in future, mate. You're looking sharp and painful.
And what are you saying about my eyes? Do you want an eye off? Do you want a C off or something?
I don't need an eye off.
I mean, I will. I'll go right now.
Probably. Well, listen.
Look what happens when the lady leaves the group, man.
The sands are getting to us, lads. Let's calm down, all right? It's all...
You pick something, and I'll see if I can see it better than you.
All right. I picked sand.
See? I can see it.
Me too. I saw it before you did.
Well, did you?
Yep. All right. Let me pick something else. Our own insecurities about our abilities. Oh, I've seen him.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere. It's coarse.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't give a hoot about this, he says, brandishing his dead owl, and then just Velda turns to see him and stops.
Hey, Velda, you gonna keep like the feathers as like to put on your hat, or just the skull? It wasn't on your mind then, just to keep the skull like some kind of, No.
I sort of thought, well, I might keep some of the feathers. They're rather pretty. But I thought we could maybe.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. You don't want to keep the bones or nothing, do you? No. Yeah, you wouldn't keep the bones, would you? No. Yeah, no.
The bones?
You're not gonna. No.
Well, I did hear of this curse that was particularly effective with owl bones, but no.
May I have the skull, please, Uncle
Are you
Velda?
being wizardist again?
It's JamJam with his massive parasol.
Yes, I suppose you can, JamJam. Yes, yeah. Well, you got to make a hat out of it. Look quite cool. I think it would look quite, quite.
I feel like
gothic.
it's about time I chose a class. I'm thinking barbarian.
Balance out the group quite nicely, I think.
Yes, I can see you as a frontline melee.
When was the last time you were angry, JamJam?
I was quite angry when I saw that owl coming for Uncle Velda's hat.
Yes, good. Yes, owls make me angry too. Yes, well done.
I think
I'm fucking getting that hat.
Philippe can take the parasol from JamJam and take over the parasol duties.
He starts sizzling. Philippe takes the parasol in one hand, picks up JamJam in the other, and begins walking in a westerly direction. Shania, so you fly towards the dust storm, and you try and keep pace with it. It is you can see now why you lost sight of everything so much in it. It's a huge storm. You can see kind of just rolling across the deserts ahead of you. You can't see any sign of anything there, and you can't see any. Yeah, if there is anything within the storm, it's very hard to see what it is. And you do a loop until you come back around. You can't see the mountains yet. You know roughly which direction they will probably be in, and you can certainly see a long way from this. So this is a viable scouting method. But if you are not near enough the mountains yet to be able to see them from the air.
All right. In that case, I guess I'll head back to the team and let them know.
Okay. So
flap,
you
flap. Just using my flaps.
There you go. That's one less job for Colin there. Just to.
Don't worry, everyone. I won't get a really good sound effect or anything. I'll just use that.
Flap, 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 flap. Do you think that's what birds think when they're flying south for the winter?
I think it depends on the bird. Some of them think flap, flap, flap. Some of them think flap, 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 flap. Some of them think flap, 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 and some of them think flap, glide, flap, glide, glide, flap.
Which bird?
Geese, motherfucker. What?
That's an extra.
I love that
the payoff is sick.
Geese, motherfucker.
What? I was just thinking I'm going to cut all these flap things, and then the payoff was just brilliant.
Beautiful.
Never cut my flaps. You cut my flaps, I'll fucking gut you back, man.
Are we saying it's not it's not like a reflex thing? It's a conscious thing for birds. They have to constantly keep thinking.
You've got to think
and
flap,
if they forget, they just drop.
Yes.
Oh my god!
It's not as cool as you think being a bird.
Shania returns to the group, still thinking about flapping.
And then does it like a shroud's turn back, like from like feathers. She sort of like and like lands real cool with her like robes flowing out behind, and then says, "Okay, so I can't see anything yet. I went quite far. I saw the storm. It's still going west, which is a bit of a worry because that storm will probably is going like towards whatever we will come to, I suppose. But anyway, so I think I'll have to check again in a bit. We're just going to have to keep walking. I think if we keep going in the right direction, then and then I will, just keep checking in the air, with my bird times.
Well, I hope then that perhaps that the storm is obscuring our view of our objective, perhaps, and if we're walking in the path of it, then we're potentially walking in the right direction.
Yeah, it feels a little bit that way. So I think we're going to be okay. Just so long as we are very careful with the foods and the waters, and careful in the night to stay warm and things. Then I think we'll be okay.
If you're moving in the right direction, all you got to do is just keep on walking. Bit of philosophy for you there.
It's very wise words. Yeah. Very wise, Bubba. Very wise. Okay.
Did you say very wise birds?
No, I said very wise, Bubba. Very wise.
Don't fucking call me a bird.
Birds.
All right.
Birds. It was birds.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, birds.
Just making sure, mate.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? We had a nice chat a couple of episodes ago. Just don't want to.
That's okay. No, I don't. But no, of course I would not. I know that you have this thing about, but I have just been a bird, and I can tell you it's very different. You have to think about flapping all the time.
Yeah, see, I don't think flap at all.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
that's the difference. And
Yeah.
that's what people need to get in their minds, is I don't think flap, birds do.
Yeah,
that's it.
You're not a flapper, you know? Okay.
No,
good.
no flaps.
What do you think
Okay.
instead of flap, Bobber?
I think a lot of things, you know. Kill all birds.
Oh, what?
What?
Eat birds. I really like birds to eat. Do you know what I mean? It's weird.
I've just noticed, Achilles, that there is an extra member of the team. Who is this dead owl? What's going on? What happened here?
Yeah, we're going to eat him later. I can't wait.
What happened?
Yes, he was trying to steal my hat and or fox. So I blasted him from the sky, and now we have an owl.
Oh, I see. I mean, no. Okay, right. Okay, stop the fuck down. Velda, you just killed this animal.
Well, I didn't intend to, but yes.
This animal is part of nature. I don't care if it tried to steal your fucking hat. You don't kill the fucking animal. I will fucking kill you. Give the bird to me. Give the bird to me. You piece of shit.
Hey, Caragor steps in. No, Shania. Velda was right to do this time. It was coming down for either his hat or his pet, and do you know what? It was coming after you a little bit as well, and if it got any close to you, I would have shot it. Nature is alright, but sometimes nature's a dick.
Bubba just looks at Folton and goes,
we are going to have some very serious arguments soon, but it's too fucking hot to do it now, okay? So listen, all of you, but it's fucking just keep the fuck up. Oh, she storms off in west. Grabs the parasol from Philippe and, sort of get to his side.
Velda's just stood looking very confused, sort of with this sort of drooping owl in his hand, just like.
She comes back and grabs the owl. She takes it out of his hand, stares at him. Thank you. And storms off again.
JamJam, Shania just stole your new magic item that you got. Do you need to rage now?
He's waving his arms and going,
Flap, 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 flap,
God.
flap.
Gore and hairy balls.
Philippe looks disgusted at him and then just throws him into a sand dune next to him and walks off. And JamJam's little legs kind of kick for a bit and he just comes out covered in sand.
Oh, all sticky.
And just runs off
Come
after
along,
he runs over and catches onto Velda's
Is
coat
Philippe
tail.
just like a breaded goujon at the moment? He's covered in sand. He can't get it off. Like he's just a little breadcrumb fillet.
Oh God! Well, he's not quite so sticky anymore because he's got his skin and he's got his tailored suit as JamJam, so he's not so. But he's still pretty sandy. So he hangs on to Velda and hangs on, and you carry on trekking off into the desert. Behind you, after you've gone a little way, an owl swoops down and lands next to the impact crater where there are some feathers. Kind of looks down, picks up one of them in its talons, looks at it, and then looks up at the sky and just kind of shakes its wing fist at the sky as it vows vengeance. We see the Danger Club walking off, and then we see another sand dune, one of many, and we start hearing footsteps. And we see the Danger Club in the distance, walking towards it. And then something appears on our screen. 10 days later.
ooh.
You have been walking through the desert in a westerly direction for 10 days. Tell us how different did the club look after this long walk?
We've all got owl hats to protect us from the sun.
Even Shania.
I'm just covered with owl charms, just made out of every part of owl you could possibly imagine.
Shania attempted to revive the owl.
Frankenstein's owl.
Are you now carrying the owl like, it's okay, buddy. One day I'll bring you back.
Yeah.
I mean, after 10 days, I think its chances are slim to none. But are you still trying?
To be perfectly honest, I think probably at some point she would have relented and said, "Fine, take the feathers, eat the owl. I'm having no part of it though because I've got rations."
I mean, Bubba still could be
by the time you
casting
did that-
prestidigitation on it, so it's like it could be like, you know.
It won't stop it decaying, though, so it does depend how many days.
Oh, yeah,
how much
right.
Bubble wants to eat
and
birds.
I'm not preparing. I'm not preparing gentle repose for a desert owl that I killed. So by the time you give the owl back, it's pretty manky and just gets idly tossed into one of the sand dunes, being like, well, that's a perfectly good owl meal. It's ruined now. Velda, for one, he is trudging. He looks hot and bothered and very, very bored of this desert. Dishevelled beard, sort of sweat stains. So he's managed to get a sort of suntan, despite his wide brim of his hat. He's still caught the sun, and he's not very happy.
Yeah, there's Caragor's got a sandy beard, and the heart eye patch is just there's like a silhouette there now across his face, and he's taken an owl hat not out of any joy, but out of sheer necessity. It's become a totem to his own discomfort and pain in the sands.
So are you like Johnny Depp in a terrible Lone Ranger?
I actually haven't seen
remake where it's got but you've seen his sort of bird hat that he wore in that.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, his big stuffed bird on his head. So actually, you've got this sort of badly stuffed owl now on your head.
So he's got if Caragor were to take the eye patch off, he'd have like a perfect heart shape.
Yeah.
Suntan.
Like a bad suntan, yes.
Amazing.
Bubba's just kind of walking along, just going, if you're fond of sand dunes and salty air, if you're fond of sand dunes and salty, I think that's God.
Come up with a different line for that next bit, Bubba. You've been singing that one line over and over for the past 10 days.
Velda's hand keeps flashing with magic missile, and then going again, and then there's another flash as he's sort of struggling not to pump magic missiles into his banjolele thing.
Caragor keeps going, doing the same thing every now and then, like alternating, just hunting prey and then not hunting prey, and then it's good. Do a quaint little feeling or something, just something else.
Quaint little villages, something like that.
There are no villages. What are you talking about?
I don't know. There's no salty sea air either. What are you singing about?
I think Shania and Folton have had to get to know each other a little bit more intimately than they expected because of Folton's scratchy troubles and sunburny business, and she's had to use a lot of salves on him and sort of like bathe him in the evenings by creating water and
have we been leaving behind sort of Folton chrysalises of his skin just as they just literally just sort of peeled off in one. Just every now and then there's just like Folton.
The flesh forges I can handle, the golems and stuff with the distended jaws I can handle, and the guts, right? That was horrific. That was.
I mean, but he is literally made of sunburn. Like it's just.
Gross. Oh my god.
What does Folton look like now, Ross?
He is. Yeah, he's just literally just beetroot, like a beetroot colour. Like he is red. That is just his colour now. He took the head of the owl, skinned it, took out the skull and all the innards and stuff, and is wearing it as like a little hat again, similar to his old lion hat. He's just wearing it on top of his head, so he's throwing the other hat away. And so now he's wearing a tiny little owl head hat, which doesn't really fit over his head that well.
So he's taken the only part of the hat that was still useful, the brim, and thrown it away. So now he's got nothing to shield his arms or his shoulders. Sweet.
Yeah.
Good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think Shania looks surprisingly well, actually. She's got her parasol, she's got her monkey butler, and it's. I mean, her hair's a little frazzled, but her sort of shrouds and her goggles, and her skin have actually protected her reasonably well, and she's not feeling too bad. The only thing she can't do is look Folton in the eye. Just gets a sort of haunted sort of.
I mean, I don't think anyone can because they're just sort of scabs now. They're not really. It's just.
Stop it, James. James, stop it. We'll put you in the bin, okay? There's a bin. You're going to stay in it for the rest of the episode. Caragor's...
JamJam has a beard down to his knees and hair of similar length, like a sort of Monty Python castaway. It must have grown at this is in 10 days. It's grown at several inches a day.
I think Caragor's trying to walk zigzag and unpatterned, and he keeps trying to convince everyone else to do the same and getting mildly irate when they don't. It's like, if you don't walk rhythmically, you'll summon like a beast or a worm or something, okay? You got to walk in like the gecko. The gecko walks across the sands in an odd pattern so as not to summon any beasts, so that predators think the gecko is actually a leaf and not in fact
Caragor.
a gecko.
Piss off.
You okay, Hans? I think you're rambling beast stuff again. You okay, Hans?
No, you become the gecko. You become the gecko, and then you become one with the desert.
I know the gecko. Yeah. Shh. She strokes his head.
Before.
She strokes his head. I know about the gecko. The gecko is good.
As you're stroking Caragor's head, Shania, you've got the highest perception. You see off in the distance a little flash of green over the next rise. And this is the first thing you've seen in 10 days. You've just seen sand and rock for this whole time. There's at one point you thought you saw an oasis, but as we've established, it was in fact the high-flying birds. But you... Come on.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty good. I'm
going to give you that.
Is that entire episode? We had an owl just so we could do that gag. The entire episode is just built around that one gag.
I mean, be the most forced gag in this show's history.
I mean, Dan, you could have gone with the trio and said you spy with your beady eye, Shania. But it's all right.
You see some greenery in the distance, and you kind of blink a couple of times to make sure. But yes, you are sure that there is something growing a little way ahead of everyone.
Right, so Shania stop! Everybody stop! I can see something up ahead. She turns into a falcon and shoots up to get a better look. And can she see it all?
Velda turns to the others and be like, well, you could all see the green as well, right?
Now she's pointed it out. You can just bounce it, but you can't see it as well. So as you fly up Falcon Battlestone, as you get up to the as you get up, Shania, you can see now that there is just over a sort of dip ahead of you among the rocks. You can see a spring seems to have welled up, and around it you can see there is a lot of vegetation built around it, maybe kind of a couple hundred meters across. And there's lots of trees and plants and things growing. All of them look fairly similar. Some are larger than others. They're very leafy, and you can see some brightly coloured flowers.
So it's just it's like a little island.
It's not like you've reached the jungle, but like you've. But yeah, you can see the. But yeah, it's like a little. Just like a little, like an oasis, really, in the desert that's kind of grown up, but very heavily vegetated.
Vegetated.
Overgrown.
Okay. All right, so I fly back down and relay this information to the rest of the group very excitedly.
Good. Well, we should head in there. But I've got a strange feeling you're only supposed to go to an oasis at midnight. I don't know why I feel that. But anyway, come on, let's go. I'm tired of sand.
Yeah, I think we all are. So let us go explore. But I think maybe we should be most careful. Who knows what could be inside?
Careful.
Yeah.
That would be a prime place for predators would feed there, knowing that prey animals come to visit and hydrate. Aye, go wisely.
Yeah.
Go like the gecko.
Yeah, okay, everybody likes the gecko, okay?
Like the gecko.
Okay.
Make like the gecko and make your way down the slope towards the trees. As you get close to it, there's no grass growing. These plants seem to grow up out of the rock, and as you get close to them, they have kind of thick green stems covered with leaves that just seem to grow out of the stems and then get even bushier at the top. There are sort of larger ones and smaller ones. They're almost like they're a bit like broccoli, but huge and leafy rather than kind of whatever that bullshit is on the top of broccoli.
If you're fond of sand dunes.
Next line.
And salty fare.
If you're fond of sand dunes.
Quaint little villages.
No, Bubba's just stuck on the.
Bubba's going to get yeeted.
Ooh, Sandy Yeats.
If you're fond of sand dunes. He's playing the wrong chords as well.
Right.
If you're fond of sand dunes.
Bubba.
Yeah.
Geckos don't play the ukulele. Alright, we've got to be careful. Any of these broccoli plants could be anything. Can I get a little? The Caragor's highly on guard. Can I get a nature check on the trees without necessarily going up to them and licking them?
You go past a couple of geckos. The gecko dad is talking to his gecko son and throwing a ukulele down. You go, see, don't play the ukulele. No, there's no geckos. Give us a. What do you say? Perception? Or
I was going to do a nature check on the plants.
Nature, yeah.
Could I also do that? Can I do that too?
You can.
Can we cop the nature?
Cop nature.
Okay. I got a 19.
Got a 26.
Ooh.
A 26. All right. So Caragor, this seems unusual. Like that, these have just grown out of the ground, and there is a pool of water when you get to there. You find there is a natural spring, which seems that seems normal enough. Like you know that springs do spring up in places like this, and sometimes vegetation grows around them. But yeah, there's something. It's weird that there's only one type of plant here that's sort of growing up. The sort of gentle creaking of them in the breeze.
I hold up a fist to the rest, even though they've already stopped, and I turn around to Shania and I go, "Can you? These plants, by the way, are well sus. All right, it's not right. The water looks good, and I want to get there, but the plants are well sus. Can you talk to them or something? I don't know. Can you have a chat with them?
I can. Let me have a try.
I don't physically just go and talk to them.
No. I realise. I understand the. Yeah. Okay. I will see if I can.
I don't really understand magic. I'm just impressed, when you do it. It's weird when Velda does it, but when you do it, it's very.
All right. Okay. Well, I will see what I can do. She doesn't really know whether she can do any of this kind of stuff, but she wants to continue impressing Caragor.
Out of character, I didn't know if you had a spell like commune with plants.
I don't think
like
I don't think so.
If you did speak to a plant, it would probably just be like grow.
Osmosis. Alright, well, failing that, I could just launch an arrow at one, because if it is an ordinary plant, it won't take umbrage to it. But if it's not an ordinary plant, then it will try and eat us, and we'll get a heads up on it.
I tell you what,
Speak with plants is a 4th level primal spell, so Shania cannot yet do it. I don't believe.
But what I can do is go into insect form. And this is probably really dangerous.
Get eaten,
because if you, that'll be a quicker way to get eaten, I imagine, if they're carnivorous.
Just save some time.
Yeah, do you know what? No, it's probably not a good idea. I'm changing my mind. Yeah, all right, fine. No, I'm not going to change into.
Go on.
She thinks about changing into an insect for a second, and then thinks, that's probably not that impressive, and says, sorry, Caragor, I did not prepare the correct spells today. I'm so sorry. Maybe another time.
That's all right. I believe you. All right. Well, listen, Club. The plants are suspicious, and I don't feel comfortable getting close to them without knowing more about them. I'm not sure what other reconnaissance I could do myself on them. If anyone's got any tricks or things like that we could use from a distance, that'll be helpful. And failing that, we could just yeet JamJam at them and see what happens.
I mean, I could just detect some magic or something. See if.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll go.
Oh, Christ.
I run towards the plant.
I having suspicion that he might do this, I'd follow his movement with bow and arrow outstretched just in case.
Oh, perfect. You use deploy Folton as an ability, and Folton, you run forwards towards the small grove, and soon are running amongst the plants until you get to the pool of water at the middle. They don't seem to react to you.
Oh, it's okay, they're fine. I turn back and shout to the rest of the gang. I look at the water.
The water is crystal clear.
I drink some of the water.
You start drinking down the water. It tastes refreshing and cool and wonderful. Having only drunk, like what is Shania's create water spell like, Drummond? Is there any? And what kind of food and water does she create? Not the text of it, but just
okay.
How do you imagine she create? Like what kind of food and water does she create?
I mean, I guess it's stuff that you would find in a cave. It's cave water.
Owls.
Cave water, probably a bit mushroomy, and you know you can taste the evil.
So after 10 days of evil mushroomy cave water, this fresh spring water is a welcome respite, Folton, as you just start splashing it over yourself.
Fulton is immediately naked and dives into the spring water.
Is it big enough to dive into? It is? Great, amazing.
Yeah, it's a big pool.
We all
Fulton.
We all thirstily go towards the water, and then as soon as Folton puts his rancid, naked little body in it...
Oh no, somebody's poisoned the water hole. Look.
Quick, Shania, do detect magic or something before Folton just wipes his bum over everything in the vicinity.
Yeah, okay. So detect magic.
Some kind of handle on this situation.
Detect magic. There is a sort of a feeling of magic in the air around this place. There's you can't pinpoint it on anything specific. You sort of scan it around you scan it around the plants, you scan it around the ground, you scan it around the pool of water where there is a sort of gentle film beginning to form on it as Fulton splashes around.
There's just bits of dead skin in it. Just
rubbing against a rock to kind of shed. Oh god, this is the grossest episode we've ever done.
That really is saying something.
Give us but you don't sense anything kind of specific from it, and you as you hear a sort of a creaking, and you look back and you see the path that you made to this pool has kind of closed behind you, as the plants seem to now be growing closer together than they were before. And as you look back into the pool where Fulton is splashing around, you look up and you see a kind of a leafy vine from one of the trees has crept down and is just creeping around Fulton as he splashes around in it. Fulton, you kind of look back at the plant, and the plant kind of leans in as if it's looking at you, and that is where we'll leave it for tonight.
No. Feed me Seymour. Feed me all night long.
Fulton's finally going to be a hit on Vine.
Because you're not going to be able to put that armor back on very quick.
This week's episode was made possible by our patrons, especially our Dangerling of the Week, Libby Abnett. To get your name on the show, go to patreon.com/Danger Club Podcast. If you do that, is it possible that I would say your name? You'll be very lucky. Alright, see ya.